Good afternoon, my name is Matt Gruca. I'm the Public Safety Director for here at Dive Ride and Scuba. I am a full-time fire captain with the Pale Sites Fire District for the last 24 years. And Dan here is also with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
My name is Dan DeCrane. I'm with Dive Ride and Scuba. I joined them after retiring from the Wildwood Fire District after almost 10 years of service and being on the public safety team. I am the equipment specialist, public safety dive equipment specialist at Lyle Woodridge. I maintain most of the equipment that our public safety teams bring in for us. Today we're here to talk about our surface supplied air system.
So our surface supplied air system we came up with through our years and experience of being with public safety dive teams. We designed the system. We looked at some diver deaths through NIOSH and some different reports that were out there. And basically what it boiled down to is in every NIOSH report, the last sentence in that report was the diver ran out of air and drowned. Diver ran out of air and drowned. So we looked at how do we prevent that? How do we prevent our public safety divers from running out of air and drowning?
So our goal was to find a way to bring air to the diver without bringing the diver up every time. We can extend time underwater, but we can also make things a little safer by bringing air to the diver, having an almost unlimited supply. Should that diver run into an issue, become entrapped, entangled, need a little more time on a recovery or securing a vehicle or evidence, and this equipment is going to give them that opportunity.
So with that opportunity, we also found a very cost-effective way of designing the system. So what we can do with this system is we can come out, we can look at what equipment you're currently using. We might have to add a couple pieces of our equipment to your equipment so we can get you guys set up to being on our supplied air system. In some cases, it may just be adding this switch block right here. So we can use whatever BC you're using, whatever tanks you're using, whatever full face mask you're using, your communication system you're using. That's all integratable to our system. We add one piece to your diver, and then all you got to look at is purchasing our supplied air cost.
It's a modular system. We're only going to bring to you what you need. We're not going to tell you what you need. We're going to work with you, find out what you use, what else you need to complete the system. We'll put it together. The other nice thing about that is none of this equipment that we're going to show you today is proprietary. You don't have to come back to us or to a specific manufacturer or shop to get this done. You can buy this from us, we'll put it together, train you how to use it, and then you can take it and maintain it at your local dive shop. Of course, we'd prefer you bring it back to me at Dive Ride and Scuba, but we understand sometimes the logistics are a little difficult to do that. We have teams in various states using this.
So we have a team in Iowa that currently uses our system, a team in Kentucky that uses our system, and then we have various teams around the state of Illinois that's currently using our system.
So we of course don't require those other teams from out of state to come back to us, but we are there if they decide they need us. So you're saving money there too. You save shipping or travel or whatever you would need to do to bring that back to a specific location. All right. Besides public safety, we found there are other uses. We have commercial divers who have demoed and looked into this equipment. Harbor cleanup, boat cleaning, things like that, anywhere where you would have used a hookah system. This is a little more sophisticated type of system for those uses. We do recommend that, once again, this doesn't eliminate the need for a buddy diver. We recommend there's always a second diver either in the water or ready to get in the water. And we also recommend that there is someone dedicated to the cart. And we'll get into that a little more when we talk about the cart itself. So we do have basically three components of the system. We start with the cart, then we have the diver component, and then we have the communications and umbilical. We do use hardline communications with this. Through the umbilical, we're going to be running your airline and your hardline communications. As public safety divers, we know that the hardline offers us a better quality sound, an open microphone, so there's no push to talk. You always have that open line of communication. It gives us a little more options too in the surface station with speakers versus headphones, or using both, however you want to do it. Our system does allow us up to 3 divers, so you could have your primary, you could have your backup, and you could have your 90% diver.
Can also use the wireless system too. We're not saying that you have to have hardline communications with it. So if your team currently dives with the wireless system, it'll work with the wireless system also.
Right, the hardline communication, the one drawback to that is you are limited to 200 feet from your air source with this. So if you are diving in a larger body of water where you're shore diving, going to be farther out, then yeah, you could still use your wireless communications with this. We do also have one of our departments actually has two sets, one on a cart and one boat mounted as well. So when they're away from shore, farther away from shore, they can still use their hardline comms and work with the supplied system. So our cart is set up right now with 2 scuba bottles. We can also use SCBA bottles for the fire departments that have more of those and want to use that as their air source.
It can also be used with the Cascade system as far as the scuba bottles also. We can put the scuba connection on there. You can run a Cascade truck or Cascade trailer right to the system, so your main air source could be coming off that Cascade system. And then we just have one bottle set up for an emergency bottle in case something happens to the Cascade truck.
So in general, we're going to be using 2 bottles on the cart. Both bottles will be open, so we can switch over quickly when we need to. They have separate pressure gauges, independent first stage regulators, and independent gas blocks to feed each diver. So they're color coded. The red off the tank, red tank, 1 red line to each gas block. The green tank, 1 green line to each gas block. The gas blocks are situated so that if the lever is pointing to the left, it's pointing in the direction of the green. So we're running both divers off of the green bottle. If we need to switch, we switch both divers over to the red bottle, and now we're breathing off the red. So you will work with your own SOGs. If your SOG currently says at 1000 PSI your diver comes out of the water and switches out, then you can still maintain that SOG here. At 1000 PSI, maybe the diver comes out. Or you write your SOG to say at 1000 PSI, we switch over to the other bottle, and we then take this bottle out, we turn it off, drain the air, pull this bottle out while they're breathing on that one, bring in a new full bottle, attach it, and have it in the backup. And then when your green bottle then reaches 1000 PSI, or whatever number you determine in your SOGs, you switch over to the red bottle, and now you're breathing off that full bottle, and we can switch this one out.
The system does come with a low air alarm on it, so the person that is monitoring that the cart, the low air alarm will go off at 1000 PSI, so they'll know that they're at that point. So just in case that guy isn't really paying attention, which he should be, we do have that fail-safe with the low air alarm that will go off at 1000 PSI.
Yeah, as we mentioned, we should have one person dedicated to the cart. All he pays attention to is this cart. He's watching these gauges, making sure the lines are open in the correct direction, and he has that low air alarm, audible low air alarm, if he does lose track. The other nice thing about the audible low air alarm is he's not the only one who knows at that point. Everybody around is going to hear it. The other option we have, not option, but the other feature we have on this setup is if you have 2 divers in the water and diver 1 off of this gas block, his line becomes insulted, spoiled, interrupted, sheared off. What we can do is we can isolate that diver and turn his air off so that his backup diver still has that unlimited air to deal with the emergency and help him out. This diver, once he becomes incapacitated or diver 1, once he has his air emergency, he's going to be switching to his back gas anyway, so having this off isn't going to interrupt his ability to breathe. Under training and circumstances, he'll know once that air is interrupted, he has to go to his back gas. But like I said, that offers that unlimited air still for the other diver to help him deal with his issues. We have quick disconnects on these gas blocks, so we can deploy this system very, very quickly. As quick as it takes someone, 1 or 2 people to get it out of the vehicle, and then 1 person to roll it up to the scene. As your divers are getting dressed, all we have to do is take that air line, and it has the comm rope in with that air line. Punch it in, lock the quick disconnect, and this diver's ready to go. We do the same with the other diver. He's ready to go as well. Turn your air on. And now we would have both divers running off our green tank. As that green tank gets low, we can switch over to the red tank. So that's how quickly it takes. And on the diver side, we'll show you in a second, you can hook your diver up just as quickly. So when you have your primary squad or whatever vehicle is carrying this equipment, as quick as the diver can get suited up and in the water, this is ready to go, and we can use this in a rescue operation immediately rather than diving conventional and then switching into the supplied gas. That's going to take us to the diver himself.
As far as the diver itself, we can use, again, we can go with any BC or any equipment that you're currently using. We can use that equipment, or we have a universal backplate and wing system that we use. So this can be adjusted and fit into any diver. And then we have the switch block here that we use for the connection. You can show the airline connection here, just as Dan showed earlier. It's just as quick as connecting that line in.
Just there.
And connecting that line in, and the diver's set up to go. And then all you gotta do is hook in the hardwire comm line also. And our divers are set to go in a rescue situation.
Besides the universal harness and backplate and wing, we have this currently outfitted with a 50 cubic foot steel tank. Nice thing about this is it offers a lower profile. If you want to use an 80, you can use an 80. If you want to use a 40, we can use a 40. We don't recommend going below a 40 though, because this is your escape gas should there be a reason to get out of the water quickly, or your line gets fouled. This is also your buoyancy gas. This is used to control your BCD and your dry suit as well. Now this is also your pony system. So if you have to escape quickly, you have to ditch the line, whatever you need to do. You've got your gas block here. So we have our gas block set up with the lever pointing down to dive, up and out. So you rotate that 180 degrees to switch to your pony system. Thank you. And now you're breathing through the pony system. The diver can quickly disconnect. Quickly. So now the diver can quickly disconnect, leave the line behind that might be entangled or whatever, and escape using his back gas through the gas block. As Matt said, the universal system is nice. It allows you from your 160 pound guy to your 220 pound guy, you don't have to switch out. You don't have to switch out your harness or backplate. He can get out, next guy can get in, cinch everything up with one move on each side, and he's ready to go. The other feature here is not only can he use his mask to escape, but he can also switch to in the worst case scenario where the mask is maybe the issue that he has to bail out of the dive, because we also have an octo on the pony system for him to breathe to get out with. For communications, we use OTS. They sort of set the standard for communications across the dive industry right now. We do have this set up right now with an OTS Guardian into their comms. We're using a comm box set up for diver 1 and 2. Of course, we can build on this and set 4 divers for a total of 4 divers. So if you had a second system, you could run all 4 divers off of one comm box. It allows us for a headset and microphone, or also a speaker, so everybody standing around can hear. We know that sometimes the circumstances call for a little bit of privacy, so the headphone and microphone is always a good option as well.
You can also use your current MK7 if you have the MK7 unit. It'll attach right into that also. You don't necessarily need the comm box. That's just what we have set up with it right now.
Our system is set up right now with a 200-foot line, so through this umbilical cord, we have 200 feet of air and a little over 200 feet of air and a little bit nominal 200 feet of communication line through there. We would set your system up with 2 different color nylon webbing. These are neutral sheets that we put on here. The nice thing about this is you can set this up with a Prusik cord on each end, so the tension on this line is held by the sheathing rather than your comm line or your air line. So these are slack inside the system. So we have that opportunity to save your rope a little bit. With the Prusix cord, we can also use that on the tender end to mark, the last place that the tender did a handhold, he can mark that so we always know the distance. So if your diver finds his target at, 70 feet or 130 feet, wherever that tender's Prusix was how we're gonna mark that distance as well. This line we know these ropes will last a long time as long as they're treated well. The airline, we use a braided airline, not very expensive when you consider the options out there. So the braided line does offer us that more affordability than, say, our competitors in this area. One more option we do put on here is we put for the diver end, we put a locking carabiner in, so the diver can hook in, lock in, be ready to go. He's stuck to this line. Once again, it's welded into the sheathing, so the sheathing is holding all the weight. If your diver wants a handhold, we can put a Prusix cord on here as well for that.
And like Dan said, our current setup right here, we have 200 feet, but we do have different options. You can have 150 feet or 100 feet, depending on what you're currently using or what your SOGs say.
So that about wraps up this system. Once again, it's modular. We talk to you, we sit down with you, we find out what you have, we figure out a way to incorporate it into the system if you want, or we can put you in a whole new system. It's non-proprietary, so you're going to save money. Where do you want to go with this? Please come back to us, but if you don't, your local dive shop is going to be able to service anything we have here. Multi-purpose, can be used in rescue, can be used in recovery. Commercial divers can use this, or the casual boat cleaning company can do something like this. And once again, we do recommend more than one diver. This is not a solo system. Never try to dive this solo. At least 2 divers and at least 1 person dedicated to the cart.
And just remember, we can't add that third diver. You would just have a third switch block on the cart there. So you can have 3 divers. So in most public safety standards, you have your primary diver, your safety diver, and a 90% diver. All 3 of those divers could be on the same system, using the same system, and the communications all together.
All right, let's talk about some suits that we have available for our public safety teams. Next, we'd like to talk about public safety dry suits. Dive Right In Scuba is one of the leading retailers and repair centers for public safety dry suits. 2 different types. Subsurface we'll talk about in a second, and then our surface suits.
Some of the surface suits that we have to offer, we got Swiftwater suits that are out there, and then we also do the ice rescue suits. So we have the various different suits out there for ice rescue, the Mustang suit or the First Watch suit that we offer here at Dive Right In Scuba. And then we have the Aqualung, we have the Raptor suit here. All right, so some of the features that are offered on the Raptor suit, this is probably one of the nicest features that are out there. Especially my firemen know that 9 times out of 10, you're not really in the water doing rescues. You may be going door to door checking on people. Is this neck seal? It's a fully adjustable neck seal. You can have it open so you're nice and comfortable while you aren't in the water. And then if you do go in the water, all you gotta do is cinch it tight, give it a little pull, and then the neck seal tightens down on it. It's got a nice horseshoe zipper here. It's easy to open and close. Get in and out of the suit. So when you do have the suit on, even if you don't put the suit on all the way, it's nice. You got the suit on, you can have this open, and then once you're gonna go into whatever evolution or whatever you're doing, you just zipper it back up real quick, and then there's a jacket style zipper here that goes over that. And then another nice feature in this suit, every suit comes with a relief valve, so it's real nice and easy. You don't have to take the suit off all the way. You can open the suit up and close it right back up when you're done. All the suits come with pockets, and they come with the reinforced knee pads. And then finally you have the built-in socks here, and then you would wear a rock boot to go along with it. And then you have the Velcro strap here that tightens around your boot, so you don't have any extra material hanging down from your feet. And it's got the same seal on the wrist seal. You have a crushed neoprene wrist seal, and then you have the same Velcro to tighten that down around your wrist. have elbow pads in here also to protect your elbow, and there's you can put a Velcro patch. You got a department patch that you want, if you want to put that on your suit, you can add that to your suit. And then it's also got reinforced into the butt is reinforced also.
The other necessities for Swiftwater, of course, the helmet, gloves, PFD, and a throw bag. We offer a variety of helmets for the divers to wear, for the swimmers to wear, with rails on the side for lights as necessary, or a camera if your department needs something like that. Removable ear coverings, so you can have that protection you need, but for comfort, if you want to take those off, you can get rid of those. Come in a variety of sizes, and each side does have some adjustability. Gloves, we offer a variety of gloves. These here are nice. They've got the Kevlar knuckles, good protection, reinforced along the sides with a high grip palm on them. So we do offer various gloves. Once again, whatever you guys are comfortable in using.
As far as the PFDs, we do offer a variety of PFDs. This is a particular, it's a Type 5 vest that you would particularly use for Swiftwater, but we also do have Type 3 vests for just your normal
support.
car, shore support, anything like that. But any type of moving water, you want to make sure all your guys are in a Type 5 vest.
With that Type 5, we do offer the tails, so you can hook in, and if you need to use that 45-degree tension line, you can hook in and use that. Stretchability on that, and it would hook into the back of your Type 5 PFD. And then throw bags, goes without saying, pretty straightforward, but we do offer a variety of manufacturer of throw bags, 75-foot length, or some are a little bit greater as well, with different dimensions on the rope as well. Beyond the surface suits, we do offer our dive suits as well.
So there's a wide variety of dive suits that are out there. A couple of the particular brands that we have here, we have our Aqualung hazmat suit here and a DUI CXO suit. So these particular suits here are good for decon, and the chemicals aren't going to permeate into this material. Some of the other suits that are out there, the chemicals do permeate into those suits, and it's a lot harder for them to decon. So these are some of the better suits that are out there. There's also the vulcanized rubber suits that are out there, but the drawback with the vulcanized rubber suit is they're a lot heavier. They're not as easy to move around in, and they do get punctures into them and anything else. With this material, it's a lighter material, and they're more puncture resistant. In using them for the public safety diving that we do.
The other benefit to these suits that we have here are replaceable seals. We have a head hood neck combo here that can be removed if it tears. The user can actually do this. You don't have to send it back to us to remove that. Same with the wrist seals. Cuffs pop off, wrist seal can come out, a new wrist seal can be put into place. Whether you have the Aqualung or the DUI, we have seals for both of those suits available. They're not interchangeable from suit to suit, but they are interchangeable with their own brand. Both of these are back entry suits. Anybody with public safety knows that's sort of the standard we have there. So good, strong zippers, easy to move, easy to maintain with a little bit of wax as well. Maintainability on these suits, so just talking about the zippers easy. Matt mentioned deconability is very easy, just soap and water and a soft brush can clean these up for most of the contaminants. If you are diving as a hazardous material, then we do recommend using some sort of two-step, three-step decon process.
So we touched on having the interchangeable wrist seal system, but one of the other things to complete this, to make it a fully encapsulated dry suit, would be the glove system also. And for this particular suit, you would use a pull-over glove system, and the gloves would just pull right over there, so you do have a wrist seal, and it pulls over. In the DUI suit, it's got the Ziploc system, interchangeable, that would go right onto your dry suit, and so you would have your glove system in there. And then you also have the SciTech glove lock system, which we can put into either one of these suits. And then another thing that we also would offer, as far as being one of the largest retail shops, is we can also add your undergarments to your dry suit. These only protect you to make sure you don't get wet and you stay dry during your dive, but you also got to stay warm during your dry. Even in the middle of summer, you should be wearing some type of undergarment underneath your dry suit.
Dive Right In Scuba is the nation's largest independent dry suit repair facility. With every dry suit purchased, recreational or public safety, you get a free lifetime leak test for the life of that suit. As long as you own that, you start getting wet, you can send it to us. We'll check it out, try to find out where those leaks are, send you a quote, and we'll repair it as necessary. If you want more, you can upgrade to a premium warranty, which will include seals, wrist seals, neck seals, and any patches into the material. Beyond that, you can upgrade to our platinum warranty, which includes everything we just talked about, but also zipper replacement and seams. Just so you know, zippers cost upwards of $300 to $400 just to replace those, so there's a lot of savings. You know, if you dive a lot or public safety where these might get a lot of abuse, that platinum is probably something you should be looking at.
So not only do we sell equipment and repair equipment, we also do training. So here at Dive Right In Scuba, we offer our public safety divers. We can take a public safety diver from open water, SDI open water, all the way through ERDI, become an ERDI public safety diver, and then we can actually even bring that student up to become an instructor. So you can have an instructor for your team to help you in cost savings for dive training.
All of our instructors are either retired or current public safety divers, so we know we have the practice, we know where we got to go with your training, we know how to evaluate and make sure we concentrate on getting your guys through these programs safely. Thank you so much for your time today. Matt and I appreciate you listening to us ramble on for a little bit about public safety. It is our passion, and it's one of the many passions we have here at Dive Right In Scuba. If you need to get a hold of us, you can contact us through the shop in Plainfield, 815-267-8400, or in Orland, 708-226-1614. And as always, you can catch us on the website, diverightinscuba.com. Thank you very much.